In the heart of the city, where skyscrapers kissed the sky and luxury cars lined the streets, lived Ethan Parker. He was a young professional working in a prestigious tech company. Ethan's life seemed perfect to those around him. He lived in a high-rise apartment with a breathtaking view, wore designer clothes, and dined at the finest restaurants. His social media was a showcase of his glamorous lifestyle, filled with pictures of exotic vacations, trendy gadgets, and upscale parties. Ethan's lifestyle was fueled by a desire to keep up with his wealthy peers. He believed that living extravagantly was the key to happiness and social acceptance. However, the reality was far from the image he projected. Ethan was drowning in debt, juggling multiple credit cards and loans. His salary, though substantial, was not enough to sustain his lavish lifestyle. Each month, he barely scraped by, paying the minimum on his debts and sinking deeper into financial quicksand. Despite the mounting pressure, Ethan continued to live beyond his means, unable to break free from the illusion of wealth. The constant stress began to take a toll on his health and relationships. He became more irritable, losing touch with friends and family who couldn't keep up with his lifestyle. Deep down, Ethan knew he was trapped in a cycle, but he couldn't see a way out without losing the status he had worked so hard to achieve. Ethan's wake-up call came one fateful day when his company announced a series of layoffs due to economic downturns. Despite his strong performance, Ethan found himself among those let go. The news hit him like a freight train. Without his job, his financial house of cards collapsed. His credit cards were maxed out and his savings were non-existent. Panic set in as the bills piled up and the eviction notice loomed. Desperate, Ethan turned to his parents for help. They welcomed him back into their modest home in the suburbs, offering not only a roof over his head, but also much-needed emotional support. It was a humbling experience for Ethan, who had always prided himself on his independence and success. His parents, who had always lived within their means, provided a stark contrast to the life he had been leading. In the quiet of his childhood home, Ethan began to reflect on his choices. He realized that his pursuit of a glamorous lifestyle had left him financially and emotionally bankrupt. The pressure to maintain appearances had driven him into debt and isolation. He knew he needed to change, but the path ahead seemed daunting. Determined to rebuild his life, Ethan resolved to take control of his finances and live within his means. Ethan's first step towards recovery was seeking professional financial advice. He met with a financial counselor who helped him create a realistic budget and develop a debt repayment plan. Together, they devised a strategy to tackle his debts systematically, starting with the highest interest rates first. Ethan also learned about the importance of emergency savings and started setting aside a small portion of his earnings each month. To generate income, Ethan took on a variety of jobs, from freelancing in his field to part-time work at a local cafe. It was a stark contrast to his previous corporate job, but he found satisfaction in earning an honest living. He also sold many of his luxury possessions, realizing they had been more of a burden than a source of happiness. The process of downsizing was cathartic, allowing him to let go of the materialistic values that had driven his previous lifestyle. Living with his parents, Ethan adopted their frugal habits. He learned to cook simple, nutritious meals, which saved money and improved his health. He discovered the joy of free activities like hiking and reading, which provided fulfillment without a hefty price tag. Slowly but surely, Ethan began to see the benefits of living within his means. His financial situation improved, and with it, his stress levels decreased. As Ethan's financial situation stabilized, he turned his attention to rebuilding the relationships he had neglected. He reached out to friends and family, apologizing for his previous behavior and explaining his journey towards financial stability. Many of his friends were supportive, understanding the pressures he had faced. Some, who had also struggled with financial issues, found inspiration in his story and joined him in adopting more sustainable lifestyles. Ethan also became closer to his parents, appreciating the wisdom in their simple, contented way of living. He began to value experiences over possessions, prioritizing meaningful connections over superficial status. This shift in mindset brought a sense of fulfillment that his previous lifestyle had never provided. Ethan started volunteering at a local community center, helping others who were facing financial difficulties. He shared his story and offered practical advice, finding purpose in guiding others towards financial literacy and stability. This new role not only strengthened his community ties, but also reinforced his own commitment to living within his means. Years passed, and Ethan's life had transformed in ways he could never have imagined during those dark days of financial turmoil. His journey from the brink of financial ruin to a place of stability and contentment was a testament to the power of resilience and the profound impact of living within one's means. Ethan had secured a stable job at a mid-sized tech firm that valued work-life balance and employee well-being. The company's culture was a stark contrast to the high-pressure environment of his previous job. Ethan appreciated the supportive work atmosphere where his contributions were valued and personal growth was encouraged. His financial habits, once a source of stress and anxiety, had become second nature. Ethan diligently maintained a budget, ensuring his expenses never exceeded his income. He had a healthy emergency fund, and his debts were a thing of the past. Every month, he set aside a portion of his earnings for savings and investments, securing his future without the need for extravagant expenditures. Ethan's social life flourished, grounded in authenticity rather than appearances. His social media presence had changed dramatically. Gone were the pictures of exotic vacations and luxury goods, replaced by snapshots of family gatherings, nature hikes, and community events. These images reflected a life filled with genuine joy and meaningful connections. He had rekindled old friendships and built new ones based on shared values rather than social status. Weekend barbecues, game nights, and community projects became the highlights of his social calendar. These activities brought a sense of belonging and fulfillment that his previous lifestyle had never provided. One of the most significant changes in Ethan's life was his involvement in community service. His experience with financial hardship had ignited a passion for helping others facing similar challenges. He volunteered at a local community center, leading workshops on financial literacy and budgeting. His story resonated with many, inspiring them to take control of their finances and live within their means. Ethan found immense satisfaction in this role. Helping others navigate their financial journeys provided a sense of purpose and fulfillment. He had become a mentor and a source of support for many in his community, creating a ripple effect of positive change. His efforts were recognized, and he was invited to speak at various events and seminars, further spreading the message of financial wisdom and sustainable living. Living within his means had not only stabilized Ethan's financial situation, but had also profoundly impacted his personal growth. He discovered a love for simple pleasures and activities that didn't require significant spending. Reading, hiking, cooking, and gardening became his favorite pastimes, providing both relaxation and a sense of achievement. Ethan's relationship with his parents grew stronger. He frequently visited them, appreciating their wisdom and the lessons they had imparted. Their modest, contented lifestyle had become a model for his own, and he cherished the time spent with them, free from the distractions of a materialistic life. Looking back, Ethan saw his journey as a series of transformative lessons. He realized that the illusion of wealth had been a trap, leading to stress and unhappiness. By embracing a simpler, more mindful way of living, he had found a deeper sense of fulfillment. He understood that true wealth was not measured by material possessions, but by the quality of one's life and the connections made along the way. Ethan's story became a beacon of hope for many, illustrating that it was possible to overcome financial adversity and build a fulfilling life based on realistic and sustainable choices. He continued to share his experiences, both through his community work and by writing a blog that reached a wider audience. His insights on financial literacy, personal growth, and the importance of living within one's means resonated with readers from all walks of life.